everyone, Brett here at Fizzy's Arcade, and I just want to welcome everybody to our first in a series of videos that we're going to be posting, I guess, on our YouTube channel. So welcome everybody. I've been posting shorts and reels on our social media for quite a while, but I'm starting to post videos. I'm going to start posting videos on this YouTube channel. And the first thing that I want to showcase here is a pinball machine that I just got in from a customer. All right, we got a couple of games from a customer that wants to have these kind of cleaned up, shopped out, whatever you want to call it. Bow and arrow here on the right, and we got Kickoff here on the left. Both are Bally games. Kickoff is the one that we're going to start off with. We're going to kick off with Kickoff. Yeah, it's dad joke time. Bally Kick Off from 1977. It's an electromechanical game. I actually have never played this game until just recently when I turned it on and tried to see what works, what doesn't work. So we are going to go through this game, shop it out, as they say, clean it up, make sure all the reels are working and nice and clean, and make sure all the lights and the scoring and everything is coming through legit, and basically just go through the entire thing. So hopefully you enjoy what I'm going to be showing on this. I'm not going to go into like great lengths to film every single portion of what I'm doing here, but I will show the highlights of what I'm working on, what I'm going to be doing, and then the end result. So let's take a look at this a little bit closer. You can see right here, it is an old game, so the back glass right here has some flaking on it. What we'll probably want to do is take that back glass off and put a coat of clear spray paint on there. Triple thick is what the industry standard, I guess, is, just to avoid any more flaking. You can see the incandescent light bulbs that are behind here, or were behind here for a long period of time, heat up and get hot and cause that paint on the back side of the back glass to crack and peel. You can see where it's peeled right there, cracked right here. So I just want to make sure that that is protected going forward. So maybe they've already done this, I don't know, but I will definitely take that off and do that. Other things to note on the play field here, you can see that it is particularly dirty. A lot of like just dirt over time. I think this was stored in a barn for a while. And so it does have a lot of dirt and a lot of usage on it. There is some wear on the playfield. This is normal. You can see where the ball travels the most is where it's going to be worn. Unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about that unless we totally repaint that, and then we'd have to paint in these numbers again. I can definitely look into that, but it's really not something that I feel is necessary. We know that this is 1,000, 2,000. We can guess that that's 3,000, and same with the 8,000, the 9,000. Double bonus when lit. If you ever played pinball, you know that that's what it says. So I don't want to go that far into this restoration just because you don't want it to look worse. You know, you try to paint it and it just ends up looking worse. So the main thing that I'm going to do, and you can see even some of the dirt here in the channel for the lockdown bar. So the main thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean this whole thing up, starting with the score reels in the back. We'll take those out, clean those up, make sure everything is making the contacts. We'll go through all the contacts on all the switches. There's some points right there. I had turned it on. Clean all the contacts on all the switches there. The rubbers are actually really good. They just replaced these not that long ago, from what I was told. So I probably will get a new rubber kit for it, but for the time being, I think it's okay. So I'll order that, get this all cleaned off. And yeah, so that's where we'll start. We'll start with the score reels in the back. Here we are in the back of the game. This is what the back box looks like. This would be your player 1 score reel, player 2, 3, and 4 down there. So we're going to start with the player 1 score reels. And I'll show this one just briefly. This is how the score reel works. Again, a lot of dust, a lot of debris in here. When the coil gets activated, it makes an electromagnet, which causes that to pull in, and it causes this to switch through all of those. There are also a series of leaf switches right here. You can see, and depending on where this is in the cycle, 0 through 9, depends on which leaf switch is activated. So what I'll do is I'll just make sure that all the scoring is scoring correctly, and then clean it all up, make sure all the leaf switch contacts are clean the score reel up physically itself, right? Because there's a little bit of grime on there. And just go through each one. Unfortunately, there's 16 of them, so I have to go through this 16 times, which is quite boring. So I won't subject you to all of that. I will go ahead and get started on that. All right, so a little bit of change of plans here. So didn't know this, but on these score reels, I started wiping them clean, and the number 1 and the number 2 started wiping off completely. So as I was going through here, I looked to see if any of the other ones had wiped off. They hadn't, but the number 1 and the number 2 had. I caught it quickly enough. Let me get back to where 2 is more prominent. I caught it quickly enough to where I was able to go through with some black magic marker and really get it back to where it looks good. I'll have to look and see if I can get a replacement reel for this eventually, but for right now, I think that looks good enough. But note to self, don't wipe down those numbers, because if they're flaking, they will wipe right off. Not a good thing. So I'm going to sidestep a little bit, change, because I don't want to cause any more damage. And I'm just going to clean all the contacts, make sure all of that is good. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I also am back here and I can feel the back glass, and it doesn't look like there's any triple thick coating on that. So I'll have to get some of that to go ahead and protect that from flaking. With these old games, with all the heat and the weather and the climate changes that they've been subjected to, sometimes you're going to get paint peeling and paint coming off in certain areas. So we want to avoid adding to that as much as possible. So that's where we're at. I think the 2 actually turned out pretty good. Like, you can't really notice it. I mean, when you're looking at it, like now that I said it, you can probably see where maybe my hand got a little shaky right there around that curve. But other than that, you're not going to notice it when it's in the game. So all in all, I think I stopped it quickly enough, but before I go any further, I'm not gonna add to any of that damage. So again, I'm just gonna clean all the contacts, and then we'll move on. So with all of those score reels cleaned up, I should note something also. The 1s is a fake score reel. That will always be 0 because there's not even a score reel back there. So I moved all of the score reels. Let me turn the game on. I moved all the score reels so they'd be in different positions, because now that we turn the game on, if we hit start, it should reset all of those. And we'll know that if they're all working somewhat properly, if they all reset to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and press the start. And they all reset to 0. So those are all clean. Just for grins, I'm going to try to score 220 points on here. So this should be 10. There's 20. That's the 2 that I fixed. And it looks pretty good, actually. I don't even know if you need to do anything to that, because it looks pretty legit. And if you didn't tell anybody it happened, nobody would know. Obviously, I'll tell the person what happened, but it looks pretty good. So moving on from there. Again, in the back box, I cleaned up. I used my very brand new rag to clean up a lot of stuff back there. I'm going to go ahead and start working now on the play field, getting this all cleaned up, and all the plastics cleaned up, and just move forward from there. So you can see that I took off all the plastics. There's not many. There's just 3 on the right side and 3 on the left side. And the play field is pretty dirty underneath all of that. Like I said, this has been stored in a barn, so you're going to see a lot of like dust and little debris in there, especially back up under where the plastics were. You can see right up here, there's little pieces. So I'm just going to go through there. I'm going to vacuum out all of this before I get to really scrubbing away, and then I'll start just scrubbing away, cleaning this, using a little Novus on it, and yeah, just getting it nice and cleaned. And here we are, the completed semi-shop job of this kickoff. There wasn't anything that I could see mechanically wrong with it, but I did clean up the switches, made sure that they were, the contacts were able to be made. My main concern was getting it clean. Like I said, having this stored in an environment like a barn or a garage for a long period of time, even a basement, you're going to get some problems. The moisture in the air, you're going to have some rust spots. So there was some chunky rust at the bottom of the back glass there. Got that off, polished it as much as possible. There was no rust on anything else that I could really see, which is good. But the playfield was obviously dirty. Cleaned that up with, vacuumed it out. We took off all the plastics, vacuumed it all out. Went in with some mild cleaner to get as much of the big stuff up as possible. Then I went in there with some Novus 2, which is an abrasive, to really get in there and clean it. Went in there with a magic eraser, just lightly, to get as much of the leftover dirt as possible out of there. Now, there is some spots where you can see, if you look really close, you can see like ball trail marks. That's not going to come out. You can scrub and scrub and scrub, and that stuff's not going to come out. So it's just the nature of the beast with these older games. Went through with the magic eraser, and then I went through and waxed it twice. Waxed it once, buffed it, waxed it again, and then buffed it. And then put the plastics back on, cleaned all those off, and shined them to a nice gloss, and went through all the little different metal pieces here and shined that. The lockdown bar, cleaned that. Went inside, cleaned that. Like I said, cleaned all the switches and the contacts. The side of the game, went through with a magic eraser and got as much of the dirt off as possible on that. And that's about it. Mechanically, the game plays pretty well, so I can set up this camera and we can do a little bit of a gameplay if you'd like. So let me do that. This is about as good as I can get at with being able to play. So I'll go ahead and play. Let's talk through the rules. So you got a skill shot, which one of those lanes actually up at the top is going to light up. If you get that skill shot when it's lit, you get 30 yards on here. And the goal is to get it going whichever direction you're going. To get a goal, and then the goal will add to your bonus. You can add yards when you hit certain things. So like when this is lit, it gives you 30 yards. Going through the spinner is 500 points plus 5 yards. So every spin is 5 yards. That back there is 1,000 points plus 10 yards. And then when you get down drop target, you get 5 yards. And then the last target down scores the lit value, which I don't know what that means specifically, but we can definitely go through that. So the object of the game is to get as many yards as possible, score a goal, add to your bonus, and then keep going. So that being said, let's put this back down here, and we'll go ahead and start a game. Okay. Flippers are working good. So we want to get that skill shot. You probably can't see it up top, but it's in the third one from the left. Actually. All right, so we're at 10,160 points, and no, missed it. Oh, the lit value. So you either get I get what it means. So if I knock down all those drop targets right now, the lit value is goal. It's lit up on goal right there. And then if it's lit up on special, that would be a special is what I would score if I knock down all the drop targets. I get it now. Okay. This is only the second time I've played this game. And it is a 5-ball game. Thankfully. All right, so I'm on ball 4. Oh, it's got these basically scissor flippers. So you got these double flippers, but it has a space on the side here that you can't stop the ball when it's going through there. So unfortunately, that's going to happen. Just like that. And that's it. Game over. 27,030 points. It's a fun game. I'm going to play it some more when I don't have a camera in between my legs. But I would recommend you trying this game out. And as a matter of fact, the customer, being as generous as they are, is letting us keep it down here at Fizzy's for the time being. So this will be in our lineup. You can come down to Fizzy's Arcade and play this game, as well as the other games that we have. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching this. I'm hoping to have more repair videos, tech videos, gameplay videos as time goes on, and as I can post videos to this YouTube channel. This is the first real video on this YouTube channel, so I hope you enjoyed it, and please comment on anything related to pinball or arcade games that you want to down below, and I'll read those comments and we'll go from there. Have a good day, everyone.